Once upon a timeless evening, in a valley cradled between whispering hills, there flowed a river, wide, calm, and endlessly curious. Her name was Liora. By day, she shimmered beneath the sunlight, carrying silver fish and floating leaves. By night, she became a mirror for the stars, reflecting constellations that danced quietly above her. Every creature loved her. The reeds swayed to her rhythm, the herons walked softly along her edges, and the wind brushed her surface with invisible hands. But still, Liora longed for something she could never reach. She wanted to touch the sky, to feel the clouds that floated above her reflection. Each night, she dreamed of rising, of breaking her surface and soaring past the mountains to drift among the stars she loved so much. One night, when the moon hung low and golden, a single drop of rain fell from a cloud that lingered above her. The drop landed softly on her surface and whispered, "Why do you sigh, dear river?" Liora replied, her voice soft and endless, "Because I am trapped here between these banks. I can only see the sky, never reach it." The raindrop thought for a moment. Then it said gently, "We're not so different, you and I. I fall from the sky to meet you, and someday I will rise again to the clouds. Perhaps you will too." The river trembled at the thought. "How could I rise? I am heavy and bound to the earth." The drop laughed softly. "Dream long enough and even water learns to fly." And then it melted into her current, disappearing into the deep. That night, for the first time, Liora dreamed vividly. She dreamed of floating upward, her waves turning into mist, her body lifting toward the stars and the mountains bowing below her. Days passed. The sun rose and fell, and still the river remembered the raindrops' words. Then one dawn the wind came to visit. He swirled through the valley, tugging gently at the trees and humming across her surface. "Good morning, river," said the wind. "You look thoughtful today." "I have been dreaming of the sky," Liora replied. "I wish to touch the clouds to see what lies beyond the hills." The wind laughed softly, the way only the wind can. "Dreams like yours can move mountains. But tell me, what would you give to fly?" "Everything," said the river. "For even a single moment among the stars." The wind paused, swirling thoughtfully. "Then remember this, the sky does not come to you. You must rise to it." And with that, the wind swept away, leaving ripples across her surface that shimmered like glass. Seasons passed. Spring melted into summer, and Liora carried warm rains from the mountains. Then came autumn, when mist began to gather above her every morning. She noticed something. Part of her was vanishing into the air. At first she panicked. "Where am I going? Am I dying?" she asked the reeds. But the reeds, old and wise, only smiled. "You are becoming the dream you once dreamed." Every day, more of her water lifted into the sky, rising as invisible vapor. At dawn, she saw herself in the mist, delicate, weightless, and free. And for the first time, she was both river and sky. She had begun her transformation. Scene 5. The cloud above the mountains. Far above, Liora gathered herself into a cloud. Soft, white, and luminous, she floated where she had once only looked. Below her lay the world she had known, the winding valley, the green hills, and the villages that slept along her banks. The same river still shimmered down there, and yet part of her was now here, among the winds and the light. She drifted for days, feeling the warmth of the sun and the cool kiss of the upper air. She met other clouds, soft, laughing forms of water and dream. They told her stories of oceans and storms, of journeys across the world. For a while, Liora was truly happy. She had touched the sky. She had become what she once believed impossible. But one evening, as the sun began to sink behind the mountains, she looked down again and saw her valley. The reeds had grown dry. The herons stood quietly, waiting for the rain that would never come. and she realized something deep and heavy in her heart of vapor. The world I love is thirsty without me. The other clouds told her not to worry. The sky is endless, they said. Stay, drift, be free. But the river that had become a cloud could not forget her source. She closed her eyes and whispered, "To love the sky is to remember the earth." And so she began to fall. The first drop fell upon a leaf, then another and another. Soon the valley was wrapped in silver rain, gentle, rhythmic, alive. Liora returned home in countless tiny drops, falling softly into her old bed of stone and soil. The reeds lifted their heads again. The herons spread their wings. The earth drank deeply. And the river sighed, a sound of both joy and peace. She had touched the sky. She had flown. And now she had come home. That night, under a velvet sky, the river shimmered brighter than ever. She whispered to the stars above her reflection, "I have learned that we are not bound to one form forever. Even the river may become a cloud and the cloud a river again. To dream is to change, and to change is to return. Not to what we were, but to what we have become." The stars twinkled softly as if nodding in agreement. The wind carried her words through the valley, through the hills, and into the quiet ears of those who were still awake. And in that moment, even the smallest streams, ponds, and puddles began to dream. Not of escaping what they were, but of becoming more deeply themselves. As the night deepened, the valley became silent except for the sound of the flowing river, slow, steady, eternal. And if you listen closely even now, you might hear her voice in the rain or the hum of a distant stream. A voice that says softly, "Dream long enough, and even water learns to fly." The stars shimmer, the clouds drift, and the world breathes quietly. And somewhere beneath it all, the river dreams still, not of the sky above, but of the peace within. Candle, good night. May your dreams rise gently and return home in rain. Stay calm. Stay peaceful. Stay DREEMLY. Crescent moon.